So, the video you are seeing is a video of my left front headlight of my 2023 Genesis G70, which I bought in February of this year. And so, I'm going to zoom in a little bit, and I'm not sure how much you're seeing, but there are two cracks. That is the basis of the service department at South Austin Genesis was saying that it was no longer covered by warranty. The condensation you see was the basis for the headlamp request to be, reordered and switched out. After a technician confirmed this condensation, they ordered the part. This took place in May. Well, it took a long time, but at the beginning of this month, in fact, the first day of this month of October, we contacted them and they stated that the part was in. Of course, we were quite happy to hear that. We made arrangements to get the headlamp switched out and to get some services done as well. Well, the next day, let me back up. October the 3rd, the vehicle got picked up and a loaner was dropped off as part of our concierge package that we got and paid for. The next day, we received notification that because of these two cracks that you're looking at, that somehow it was determined that this area of the vehicle was impacted. Now, I'm not sure where this conclusion came from, but I'm just gonna change the angle, and with it being sunny, you might not get the best view. But what I will tell you is that I've been on this planet for a little bit of time, and if this area that you're looking at had been impacted, where is the evidence? Where was it hit? Because there's nothing on the surface. Nothing on the surface at all. Now, there is this little area here that I'm pointing at with my finger. I'm not sure what that is, but that clearly did not happen from the outside, whatever it is, because the area, the bumper in between right here that I'm touching with my finger, is completely smooth and uninterrupted. If this had gotten hit, why isn't any of this disturbed? Why is it just right here and right here? What could we have possibly struck that's going to leave those precise marks? I would love for anybody to be able to explain that. And, furthermore, I'll pose another question. What does this have to do with my original issue? As you notice, you see the condensation. This is what started the whole process in the first place. And oh, by the way, this happened before any cracks showed up. Regardless to how they got put there, I can tell you How they didn't get put there, and that was by my ownership, it didn't get put there. This vehicle's never been touched by another vehicle. Okay, I have my own theory. I have a theory that states that when you take the bumper off of this vehicle, which is required in order to change out the headlamps, there are mounting screws underneath. And if you tighten those mounting screws too tight, you can cause a crack. That's one theory. But as you can see, there's this condensation also. Who's to say the temperature changes didn't cause these cracks? Whatever caused these cracks, I can assure you it wasn't because this car was hit. And the service manager at South Austin Genesis basically accused us of fraud by stating it looked like the bumper had been painted. So I'm just going to go down and I'm going to move around the front of the car because I'm very, very curious as to where this painted area could be. And because as anybody knows, you're only going to get an exact match by ordering the paint directly from the factory. So that would mean that somebody would have to order it, pay for it, receive it, and then paint the car. And oh, by the way, they would have to do this with our consent. And there would have to obviously be paperwork involved with that. So I'm really, really curious where this story of it looks like the bumper had been painted came from. But this is what the service department manager said to me at South Austin Genesis. Very interesting. I would probably say the same thing too if an employee made possibly an honest mistake, but a mistake nonetheless. And of course, if responsibility comes down, who's it easier to put on? The customer / owner? Or is it easier for you to say, well, it was our fault, our bad, we'll take care of it? I would consider that called good customer service. That's what I would consider it. They would consider it saving money. So now I have what I need. This car was washed. Not greatly washed, but washed pretty fairly to meet the purposes of this video. And so that's it. That's all I have to say. I'm just going to take some still photos. I'm going to submit this to Genesis Corporate, and we're going to see where it leads from there. So you can feel free to agree, disagree, comment. It's fine either way. Regardless to what is being said, I stand on my position. And oh, look, here's a little drop inside the headlamp. So as you can see, there's quite a bit of condensation inside when you have drops literally happening. And here's, so you got the top half and here's the bottom half. So they say it was struck. Well, it must have got hit with a couple of forks or something, and it just happened to miss everything else except for these little parts right here and right down here. Everything else got missed. Amazing. Well, we take on our fight with corporate. We'll see where it leads. I will post a follow-on video to discuss the outcome. But that's pretty much all I have. And take care.